Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and I want to talk about the golden age of scarcity that we are getting on drops right now in Veve. This is absolutely amazing, this time that we're in, and I'm going to break it down for you, and I'm going to compare the drops from the past to the drops that we're beginning the last little while, and talk about just how important this time is for us to recognize, because this might not ever happen again. We may never get an opportunity like we've been getting over the last couple of months and into the next few months. You know, as long as you're here in Veve, as long as Veve goes, we may never get this opportunity again once they have more users and they start increasing the edition sizes again. So I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you my thoughts about what's going on right now for sure. We'll get into it in just a sec. So if you do like this vid after you watch it, make sure you hit like, and 100% you got to comment down below. Let me know what you're doing during this time, because I don't think a lot of people really realize just how lucky we are to have these low edition drops. It is crazy, right? So make sure you comment down below and let me know what you're doing. And you can also follow me on Twitter as well. I'll follow you back. We can continue the conversation there. And if you want to join my channel as a member, make sure you sign up as a member. It's $1 a month. You'll get your free drop head NFT and you'll get into my rewards program, which include Omi, comic books, and Veve gems, right? So it's really great. We have a lot of good fun there for sure. So let's get into this. It is the golden age of scarcity on Veve. Like I said, we have low editions. We may never see these kind of drops again once the user base goes back up. So you got to think long term. So let's get into this right here. Now I'm showing Miles Morales right here. My previous video was all about how he is, like, pretty much, in my opinion, the best NFT on the app. And a lot of it has to do with the scarcity and popularity. These are just some numbers right here. We're not going to talk a lot about him specifically, but this is one good example of the kind of thing that's been happening in this time period, and stuff like this is going to come as well. We're going to get other characters like this, and these drops are going to be massive, right? So now, if you just check this out, I went through the last bunch of drops and just got some random ones that are the key ones, you know, that are kind of the most notable that we've gotten in the last few months, you know, for sure. There's a few that I left off the list, but this is just kind of randomized. You can see the low edition sizes on all of these types of drops we've been getting, and it's a direct result, you know, of the lower user base that we have right now, but also, you know, the current market conditions, the bear market and the recession and all that kind of stuff. Veve has adjusted, and check it out. Kang, Lamborghini, RoboCop, the Mickey Mouse drop, American Chavez, the Obi-Wan set. Look at the Creeping Dero, only has 555 editions. Look, the R2 droid set only has 4,000 total editions. Miles Morales only has 3,000 total editions. These are when you add them all together. And then look at the Ether down there. One of those Infinity Stone speculation pieces only has 3,800 editions. This is very important for you to recognize what's going on right now, because in the future, you know, when the user bases go back up, and I'm going to explain why Veve's doing this right now, and I'm going to explain what they were doing before. But when the user base goes back up, these edition sizes on drops are going to increase again. So during this kind of valley that we're in, we're getting really scarce stuff, and you can see it reflective, you know, in how it's going to do in the market later on. Some of them have already started to bang up quite high. And, you know, the same thing is going on with comic books, too. I'm not showing all the recent comics. I'll talk about that at the end, towards the end of the video. But the comic books, too, super limited drops. We're getting, like, that's like the norm now. And some of these are even going down to 7,500 level, which is crazy, right? But you can see this has been since about late August of 2022, you know, just after they did KYC, you know, just after Amazing Fantasy came in at that limited run. We started to see drops, the edition sizes fall as time gone on. And Miles Morales is the biggest example of one of the best types of collectibles we've ever gotten because of that factor. Right now, if you go back prior to August, you know, prior, basically right before the KYC, look at Boba Fett, 27,000 total editions. The Tesseract, reason I showed that Ether one, you know, the Infinity Stone, you know, basically that speculation piece. Look at this Tesseract. It's got almost over double the amount of editions from that time at 8,600. And then we got Loki, just a single guy by himself, 8,000. The T-Rex had 26,000 total editions. Darth Vader has almost 28,000 total editions, you know, and Thor has 38,000. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. You can see before that time, we were getting way more. So why were we getting way more then and not as many now? Well, it's pretty clear, right? The amount of unique users that we have right now has actually climbed since that time, which is quite interesting. in terms of unique owners, these are the ones that people were like, they have a wallet that actually has something in it. It's actually climbed since, July. You can see the numbers here. This is a graphic from before that I had in my video in like, mid-July, how it was going up. This is right off of Mutascan. So you can see these are wallets that actually own stuff right here. And you can see back then we're at 615,000, climbing all the way up to about 640,000. Now we even have 651, and we actually were a bit higher, and it's come down the last little bit as well by a few thousand. So we're still have unique owners holding stuff, in the app right here. But the reason that we have this is, the high edition sizes in 2022 was because of the bots. Of course, they were selling out, and Veve actually admitted to saying they were overproducing stuff to actually slow down the market growth. And actually, it's a tactic that trading card companies sometimes do. Pokemon does this, where they overproduce cards so the value doesn't go crazy high. They were actually doing this. This is because of the vast amount of bots. And of course, they were selling out and everything. So they were making lots of money during that time. But after KYC kicked in, I know we still have bots on the app, but they're not even anywhere near as rampant as they were before. We still have drops, like the most recent comic ones, where it looked like there's a bunch of bots who got them, but not even slightly as close as how it used to be. So after KYC in 2022, that was at the end of July, Veve has been underproducing now. They've been going the other direction intentionally, trying to maintain the value of these new drops and also to adjust to the current user base, because they noticed that once they got rid of all those bot accounts, because tons did they got rid of tons of them. We've had to adjust, so they can't put these high editions. And you'll see some of these drops, like Kang, for example, that came out. If we scroll back here, Kang had 4,696 editions, and he still didn't sell out. So you can see that we're still having that issue. So they're going to lower it even more potentially on future grails, right? So this is going to have a long-term impact. The stuff that's been coming out in the last 5 months or something like that have been way lower in edition sizes, way scarcer than the stuff prior to that. So it leads to the question, what do you do? Do you go after the stuff in the past? Because Darth Vader, for example, is absolutely fantastic in my opinion, and some of the ones from back then are fantastic as well. But the stuff that's been coming out in the last little bit right here, this stuff is way more rare and scarce. If they come out with new, if they come out with Wolverine or like Grogu or other stuff like that during this time, those are going to be really important as we go for long term. It's going to have a long-term impact, once they start to increase the amount of drops again. So this is what my thought is on this. And I really want to hear what your guys' thought is about this as well. Veve will once again, one day, increase edition sizes to match the growth of the user base in the future. They will do this. This is not something that is going to stick around forever. We are not going to have low edition sizes on all of these comics and all these collectibles forever. This is eventually going to go up again. And so during this time, this is just what I think anyway. I hope, because if that's the case, then obviously the app is doing great. But once they have all the other stuff in place, the marketing and the MCP and OUP and all that stuff, we are going to get more users. At least that's what most of us believe if you're still here. So that you're going to get bigger edition drops again to match that as well, right? So we may never see these low editions again, this value. And now I don't know how long this is going to last for. It could be another few months, whatever, but it's really going to be interesting. So what I'm doing during this time, and what I would recommend anyone else to do, this is not financial advice, but this is just advice in regards to what you might want to think about doing, is focus on those low edition key drops, like these big characters that come out. Really focus on those, because, when these big comics come out, like these ones right here, I'm just showing you just a few that have happened. There's lots of other ones too, but these ones right here, this kind of stuff, RoboCop, when we get another, he's only has 1,987 editions. I mean, the Lambo, stuff like this is really low compared to where it would have been if it dropped a year ago, and probably where it will be if it dropped a year from now. And you can see those are samples of the comics down there. Amazing Fantasy was the first one that we really got, it really kicked this whole thing off. But look at Giant Size X-Men. There's only 7,500 of those that just came out. And you can see some of the other ones too. These are the ones you probably want to focus on. If you ask me, this is what I'm doing, going after the stuff. And also what I want you to do too, and this is just some advice, take it or leave it, but save some gems, because we are going to get some grails coming up, and they're going to be pretty scarce. I mean, another Miles Morales level drop is probably going to come at some point with some crazy character like Wolverine or something like that, or the Hulk. And you're going to want to make sure you have gems saved to get those, because the edition sizes during this time is probably going to be super scarce. You know, it's probably going to go like this for a while until we get more users, until we get everything up and running. But by the end of 2023, I don't think we're going to have this scarce drops anymore. I think this is a real golden age and a real opportunity right here. So enjoy it while it lasts. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm really excited about the drops that are upcoming, specifically if they're really scarce. And some of these drops, like Kang that just came out, did sell out. So Veve's going to have to go even deeper down this rabbit hole where they actually make stuff even scarcer and a little bit cheaper. So the time, the opportunity is absolutely fantastic, if you ask me. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this as well. Let me know in the comments section what you're doing. This is what I'm going to be doing, and we'll see how it goes from there. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Good luck on the future scarce drops, and happy collecting.